pretty bold. Let's get into this. We are in game 2 of Root versus Bomb. This first game was super decisive for Root Gaming. All the previous games, it's been a hard road for them. They faced up against the Eosin stack. They faced up against the Uporn team. There was another team before there that was pretty hard. Phrasing. But it's been really good, and this last game, they just kind of stomped. So I know Bomb had to knock out some great people, so I'm expecting them to fight back. Once again, I'm Llama Down Under. I'm joined by I'm Extra Bored and About 7 Llamas. Please thank them for standing in on short notice. That game was so quick. My co-caster, who was meant to be here, who also played in the playoffs, couldn't make it. So, yeah. Anyway, how are you two doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
It's been a long week, but it's good to kick back with streaming some Dota.
Yeah. So
I'm a little bit relaxed now since I've been sick from stress all week, but this has been an enjoyable ride.
Yeah, and it's a pretty nice way to end the week with the North American qualifiers. Either way, let's get into this. IO banned again. As we talked about, 60% win rate. Pretty sure folks just don't want to deal with that. Doom as well. The Doxia Wyvern. So this will be the first time in the entirety of the qualifiers Xuan will play another hero. We get to find out here if he can play things other than the Doxia. And I had asked the captain of Root Gaming earlier, what is he going to do if this gets banned out? And he said it wouldn't be, because Xuan doesn't know how to play another hero. So, don't know what we're going to do.
It's a bit interesting.
Yeah. I asked what the strat was, but apparently there was no strat.
So. I mean, I think last game it wasn't even the Darkseer. I mean, the Darkseer, that lane went fine. It didn't go one way or the other, but I think it was just the fact that mid was absolutely devastating. The Alchemist farmed up, Alchemist farmed so much. He got the Shadow Fiend got his bottle knocked out after he took a ton of damage from Acid Spray and burned a bunch of mana on trying to get last hits.
Yeah.
Mid lane was crippling for Band of Misfits.
It also felt like the Blink Dagger pickup on the Jug just meant that normally you can repel the push a bit, right? Because it is hard to get at those enemy heroes. You either have to spin all the way in, taking quite a bit of damage, or walk in, taking all that magical damage. Instead, he just blunk and Omni Slashed. So, a nice pickup there. But again, the Shadow Fiend, he was first picked last time as well. Also on Radiant. So, just gonna be a nice little thing there.
And then Root opts for the Quap this time.
Yeah. And actually, just so folks know, we have the manager of Root Gaming. I know a lot of you have been asking what on earth happened with Root Gaming. The manager of Root Gaming issued a little statement, a twit longer. So you can all see that. And it's really nothing malicious at all. It was just that Archon, picked up monkeys, gave him an excellent deal, and then Waga, he's been playing with 60% packet loss on US ping, also having to stay up at really odd hours for these qualifiers. He just decided that they would split ways. But let's go into this game. Queen of Pain, Alchemist. You can stuff an Ags in Queen of Pain as well. If you're
it's pretty powerful, just being yes, I thought we were done making Uporn jokes.
I actually wasn't. I was just discussing how her Ags upgrade is beautiful, Extra.
Alright. Alright. Well, that's, But yeah, Quap Ags is pretty good just because it gives you the massive cooldown reduction. You can just take the Quap and gank Shadow Fiend all you want, and he can't do anything about it.
So
I'm a bit surprised they banned out the Broodmother. I mean, between the Queen of Pain and the Alchemist, I feel like they could deal with the Broodmother.
I think that dealing with the Broodmother, as you say, between the Queen of Pain and the Alchemist, you still have a lot of trouble in the laning phase, right? If you don't pick supports that'll help you with a Broodmother. If you don't have supports who can wave clear the spiders, they run you over, and she will get the level advantage. You need lockdown and you need wave clear, so you have to pick like a Rubik Lina and be perfect. It's rough.
Yeah, we see the AA pick out of Band of Misfits, and I think that's one of the better things you can get against Alchemist, just because the Frostbite will stop him from regenerating from his ultimate, which is, a massive part of his ultimate. That's the max level. It's like 100 HP regen per second, and if you can nullify that, then that makes taking down the Alchemist a whole lot easier.
So, either way, we're gonna be getting into this. The other thing I love about the AA is it just feels like there's so many heroes right now which just rely on healing and sustain. And AA, of course, you have to hit the perfect AA blast. It's not easy, life as an AA. You want levels. Your utility in lane is kind of weird because you do have the chilling touch, but it slows down attack speed, and also the cold feet, its odds are it's not going to proc unless you're paired up with someone who can either slow or reposition them, like a Rubik or a Wyvern who's already banned out. So it's not super easy, but they pick an Undying into it, and kind of an interesting play here.
I mean, I feel like the Shadow Fiend is a range hero, you know, and should be able to deal with the Tombstone. But I guess that you don't want the Shadow Fiend to be dealing with it, because that makes him just stand still for a long time, and in the meantime, you can just be killing the Shadow Fiend if he's just standing still.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
So, gonna be...
And they picked the Slardar.
Yeah, this was banned out last time in the second round of picks. I think he's a pretty cool hero. Oh, I didn't mean to make that pun kind of with the AA. That's problematic. Anyway, I like Slaughter. He's a lot of fun. I've seen him utilized on the offlane really well. I'm not a huge fan of him in that hard carry role. I find that he leaves a lot to be desired. And here, I already see the makings of a minus armor strat, so that'll be something nice coming out there.
5 seconds.
Yeah, Alchemist is a bit notorious for having low armor, and I feel like Band of Misfits saw the power of the Alchemist last game, and they're just sort of like knee-jerk countering it right now with you know, the minus armor and the frostbites.
Yeah. So, either way, we've got the Spectre ban out. This makes a lot of sense. You ban out the Spectre whenever you have some global presence, and the Earthshaker Shadow Shaman. I also am not sure Shadow Shaman was the problem, and it feels like Shadow Shaman is an easy hero to fill the role, I guess we'll say in quotes. It's something where the Shadow Shaman, you can pick a Lion if you are so inclined, but Root is going with the CM, and we've seen this before. She just helps all of the lanes a little bit and has good utility on her own, and can jungle if she needs to a little bit to get up her farm.
Yeah, the CM is really versatile, and as well, you get the just a little bit of Arcane Aura, which is super helpful because all these heroes like to cast their spells in lane.
10 seconds remaining.
You can just get some decay stacks in lane, you can get a few more acid sprays, you can get like a couple more shadow strikes, and that's just, it's the little incremental advantages that turn the lane into your favor.
And the Alk already had a fantastic lane mid. He really outdid the Shadow Fiend there, it felt like. I feel like Bomb needs to throw somebody else mid and kind of, what's the word? Respond to that. Make sure that there is somebody there in mid to help the Shadow Fiend at least secure those early souls, and they don't have to worry about the courier as much. Undying CM not as courier slaying inclined, but you still have to be scared. On the other hand, Root Gaming is going to have no armor. Will actually have like negative 20 armor in most engagements.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I don't like the Dazzle pick as much because, in my opinion, it's not that great of a matchup against Undying because, I mean, half the time when you grave someone, they're going to be stuck under a tombstone anyways, and as soon as they come out from the grave, they'll just die to a zombie or a stray acid spray or whatever. I can see, like, they would want it because it's the minus armor strat, and they also want to protect their heroes, but I just don't think it's as effective against this lineup.
Yeah. So, let's see what these lost bands. They decide to go with an Ember Spirit. I don't... Okay, so that could be like, hey, we're going to pick up a PL, or it could just be they thought he was a bit of a pain in the ass to lock down last time. It does mean that they think this is the utility slaughter we see off lane, and I would prefer that, but other good pickups, I feel like Slog could be picked up by either side and be used pretty effectively. Although, he doesn't like to play against Slaughter, never mind, I'm an idiot. Although...
Yeah, Stark would be a bit of a weird pick.
Wait, can you purge off the amp damage? We've discussed this before, doesn't nothing
You can purge amplify damage, yeah.
So Slog can purge off the amp damage, but
amp
only
damage's new cooldown is like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Also, it can't be purged off by Manta, which some folks think. Not that anybody on Root Gaming would be going Manta, to our knowledge, right now, so... Yeah. I think Root could... They have a lot of carry options here. I would like to see the PL just because it feels like their opponents don't have a counter to it, but again, it's one of those things where the real PL could be found out. You're very squishy for actually quite a while, until you have up your Manta, until you have up the item past the Manta, whether it's a Hot or a Scotty.
Yeah, but I'm also excited to see the Band of Misfits, how the minus armor strat actually works out, because, you know, once you stack like 1, 2, or 3 minus armor things on one target hero, then you're gonna right click them. They're gonna take like, you know, 400 damage for one right click or something stupid like that. Especially with, you know, Necromastery buffing your auto attacks.
Yeah, it's actually insane. It's really funny because we've seen this before, where you get off a good weave and, you know, there's all this minus armor around, and heroes are going down way faster than they should be. It's a Chaos Knight.
Radiant team.
I in no way would have guessed that. I am pretty surprised. He can be a good carry. I guess the CM aura will help him a bit. He is mana dependent, hence why he goes drums. Some stuff just tank him up and give him stats. Not quite sure I'm seeing the awesome synergy. I feel like he's a hero that often goes omelet, which is something you can't do against an AA or a Slaughter. He of course can build something else, but
I don't think you have to go. I mean, the Armwood is really, really good, but I mean, I think there's a lot of other options you can get as the CK, and I don't think, because they have the Alchemist to be like their main farmer, so I think the CK is free to, you know, roam around a little bit more, gank with the Undying Crystal Maiden Quap.
yeah. So, up next, what count as a Chaos Knight and an Alk who's gonna be fat, and I just almost fell out of my seat. I have a chair now instead of just sitting on a ball, so very strange for me. Let's take... I'm not sure what is gonna be this, quote, ideal pickup for their team. I do still like the Slok.
I think Sork could work. I
think,
could see it working.
right, you can purge off a number of things. The Chaos Bolt in particular being ideal to, if you see them coming at you, you pop that Dark Pact. Or you see it flying towards you, actually, you can pop the Dark Pact even, right? Because it's a projectile.
If you see it flying towards you, you can also disjoint it with your Pounce, but they get the bristle back.
This is a full minus armor strat. If they go for a level 1 Roshan, I would not be surprised. They can maybe do it? No, they can't.
They're on Radiant, though.
Yeah, they actually can't do it. Sorry, even if they get quite a bit of minus armor, I don't think they have enough right click.
Well, plus the Dazzle and the Shadow Fiend and the Slardar don't get their minus armor till later.
No, but that's what I mean. You'd have to go Shadow Fiend first level minus armor. It would be cheeky, to say the least. So.
But that makes it more unexpected, right?
Yeah. It's like the Spanish Inquisition. Anyway, we're gonna be loading into this soon, hopefully. We just need Dup to take his hero. Dup, if you could get your shit together and take your hero, that would be great.
Remaining.
So, and we're in, folks. We've done it. I'm so proud of us all. And let me just check. It looks like our admins didn't disconnect this time, so if anything sketchy goes down, they can catch it. And we're going to be seeing folks going out. This time I will introduce BOM, since I did Root Gaming last time. We've got Brink on that Shadow Fiend. AA going to be played up by Raya Noob. Reaper on Dazzle, Slaughter being played up by Echo, and finally the Bristleback, Safeline farming Bristleback being played up by Forshakurus. Forshakurus? How am I meant to say that, you StarCraft player, you?
I think yeah, that's right. If that's a StarCraft reference, it's just Forshakurus.
It could also be Forshakus or something, but anyway, tossing it over to you to introduce this Root lineup.
Alright, over here on the Root lineup, we've got Derp playing on support Crystal Maiden, KVH on the Chaos Knight, Schwan on the Queen of Pain, Phogos on the Undying, and what's the Alchemist's name?
Oh, this is the 2. C2.
The 2.
Sorry, I think it's pronounced C2. It's spelled the T-O-O, so depending on how you prefer to pronounce that, that could be the, that could be the. I think the 2 is how I've heard some other folks say it.
Alright, D2 is on the Alchemist then.
Yeah, and looking like he's gonna be getting that big fat level 1 bounty rune. You know how an Alk feels about that.
Everyone watch the 500 gold drop.
Oh, actually he didn't skill Greevil's Greed.
Oh.
I think his pausing.
He stood there for a second there, and I hope he
No,
is like.
yeah, doped up. I think is like you idiot. What have you done? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Eric is kicking him out.
That's what those pings are about, man.
Yeah, and he goes acid spray. There we go. Now they have stuck the AA mid here. This is actually kind of nice. SF should be able to get something here. Already getting some lost hits on the Alk though, but yeah, SF already getting up those souls with the help of Chilling Touch, so he should be able to get at least 3, and with the creep pull here, he certainly will. I wonder about this tri lane though. Oh gosh,
Echo's going.
Yeah, the Slithering Crush, you can see the AoE of that is huge, but if he takes another decay to the face, do they have it? No, I don't think they'll have enough damage, even with the decay. Oh, he gets down to 25 health! And that's...
Yeah, cutting it a bit close on the offlane Sardar there.
Yeah, so... In the meantime, it's looking like SF going back to having a hard time in this lane. I feel like what he needs to do, I'm no expert, but I feel like what he needs to do is just position himself over here instead of where he is. He's trying to position up here, and I think he just has to go off to the sides in hopes of dodging the acid.
Yeah, it might be, but if you keep in mind, if you do stand the river, you're more vulnerable to ganks from the supports and all.
Of course.
So it's a hazardous scenario either way. You might just want to, like, you know, use your far raise to pull your wave back or something, or just farm with your far raise.
Yep. In the meantime, Xuan having a bit of a rough time in that bottom lane, but looking like he's well able to stay in experience range. Bristle not zoning him or anything, and I think, of course, Quap with a blink. Bristle not having an easy way to follow her after she does anything. I'm actually wouldn't be surprised if the Dazzle and the AA just rotated somewhere entirely different. It feels like they're not super needed in mid.
The Dazzle spends a while, like, midway camping in these trees over here behind the Alchemist. I don't know, like, what they were thinking. I mean, because they could try to go for him, but I don't think it'd be a very high percentage play.
Yeah. In the meantime, Bounty Rune bottled up by the SF, so despite Alk actually changing up his build, last time he went on Unstable Concoction, this time 2 points in Greevil's Greed. He actually didn't put any points in, he had only 1 point in that for a really long time initially. And so we can see the SF having a much better time, already 15 souls up. This is worlds different from last game. So the little AA rotation that paid off, it looks like.
Meanwhile, unfortunately for the AA, he didn't manage to deward this little ward that's blocking their camp here, so the tri-lane isn't going as well as it could be. But Alchemist falling really low just from harass.
It is a notoriously hard ward spot to catch, so folks sometimes have trouble on it, and it's not unsurprising. In the meantime, they've rotated on dying down bottom as well. I think they really want to make sure this Bristle doesn't become a problem. I'm not so sure, though. Is a big Bristle something you have to worry about? I mean,
the big Bristle just stands in front and takes the brunt of the fight and all. I think it's a bit scary for Alchemist if you're slowed down by a bunch of goo.
Yep. Especially since Alk, he is a strength hero, but he doesn't get particularly naturally tanky, so... and I wonder how much... Oh, actually, he might take another raise to the face and go down. Alk doesn't have much health. He's running backwards, and actually, does he throw the stun? He doesn't manage to, but I think SF will go down to the creeps. He needed to throw that a little bit earlier, so
Meanwhile,
SF...
the Smartar is getting really close to death, but he's,
Oh, he's gonna take a Chaos Bolt to the face, I think. Gonna be... Oh, a nice Slithering Crush. Chaos Knight taking a lot of damage himself. He needs to find this guy and Chaos Bolt him. Creeps not letting him have it, though. Where is the Chaos Bolt? There it is. Can he walk it off? I don't think so, but the SF, of course, isn't in mid lane anymore, so no one to cut him off. He should just be able to walk home. So, gonna get a Bounty Rune for his troubles. And this game, much more even than the previous game. A slight lead for Root, but nothing like the... I think we had like a 2,000 net worth lead at this point. Last game.
AA died to neutrals? I don't think that was an intentional... He has a bunch of money. He didn't buy out.
So it looks like Shadowfiend just taking an Unstable Concoction to the face, but as we pointed out, now that he's actually getting levels here, the level 5, the level 3 raises very strong. Alk can't really tank those to the face anymore. So. And Dub just wandering around up top. So, just gonna be a pretty relaxed game of Dota.
But at the same time, I think the offlane on Root has been doing a lot better than the offlane on BOM, just because the Quap is being able to get a lot closer to the wave, and she's going in on the Bristle right now.
Yeah, really
as I say
surprised
that.
by her aggressive play here, but of course she has the Undying to back her up. He does not have any points in Soul Rip, though. But if they could get a perfect Tombstone, maybe they knock him out. Of course, Tombstone was early game nerfed, late game buffed, you could say. And Chemical Rage popped on the Alp. He's thinking about throwing something out. CM isn't close enough, though. Here she's starting to come in. SF is actually thinking he can fight this, but he's going to get Frostbitten. No, the Frost Nova comes out. She can't get quite in range, but I don't think she needs to. One more auto attack. They need it. They get it. SF goes down. So, a nice little play there. I didn't think she would get close enough on the CM since she's as swift as the Wolves of Ice Rack, but she has boots up already. First item on Derp Derp. And, yeah, a nice little kill for them.
I think the Shadow Fiend was just overconfident there because he didn't realize the CM was so close.
Yeah. They did have a ward, but not one that could see this rotation, so...
I mean, he saw the Alchemist charging up his stun, which is, I mean, I think it's a dangerous scenario once you're there. The KBH is...
Yeah, he's gonna be just fine. I think the Alk has been doing a good job of throwing that stun for funsies, so now you're not sure if it's a gank or not. He'll probably back after each subsequent one. In the meantime, they'll get a little bit of damage on the top tower. If these lineups go super late, again, I'm not sure. I feel like if it goes super late, I have to give it over.
Quap is going on the AA bottom, in the bottom jungle.
Found him stacking in the jungle, and that's a very dead AA. Gonna take a raise, but SF deciding not to follow. Bristleback gonna cut them off. Should be maybe we'll be able to kill Undying here if he doesn't walk the right way. Undying walking it off, and of course Xuan can just blink away.
In the meantime, up top lane, we might have a little bit of a scuffle going on here.
Yeah, CM gonna just Frost Nova, and they don't want to fight her. I'm really surprised by this. I think they're playing too passively on Bomb. Maybe a little bit scared of the lost game.
KBH is gonna catch that Reaper here.
Gets it with a full second. Are you kidding me? There's gonna be a Frostbite as well. No, just the Slithering Crush. Where is the Frostbite? He doesn't have enough mana for it now. There's gonna be the Shallow Grave, but I don't think this is enough, and Reaper most likely going down as stun. They want both. Does manage to get the Shadow Wave off, and actually going ham on KBH, another Shadow Wave. He may go down here under tower. Does he have help from the CM? Where's the Frostbite or the Poison Nova, or not Poison Nova, the Frost Nova or anything? Now Derp Derp probably gonna fall. In the meantime, Chaos Knight does go down as they do get the slaughter kill, and Derp Derp one auto attack away from death, and I don't think there's any escape. He's gonna try to hide, but you don't hide from the Ice Vortex.
Yeah, a bit of a weird over-aggression from Root here. They did manage to get the Slardar in the end, but I don't know if it was worth it for an offlane Slardar.
Yeah.
To be trading your safe lane CK and a support.
I think they wanted both and just weren't able to make it happen, so... In the meantime, though, Xuan having a bit easier time in lane after the Undying rotation. Bristleback and SF still in the top two farmers, though. Now, let's talk some item pickups. When you know you're going to be facing enemies with a lot of minus armor, I feel like Armlet is a nice thing to pick up, but at the same time, there's an AA. You can't be Armlet toggling with an AA about.
Yeah, I feel like I would just opt for something safer like the drums or something, which is a lot less powerful and a lot less useful overall, but it doesn't give you the weakness to AA that the Armlet would give you.
Yeah. And just an update, apparently Thitu's name, his real life name is Thitu, so I should learn how to pronounce that. Either way, we've got a throw, unstable concoction, but there's also a slaughter coming in the backlines. Root realizing that they are overwhelmed here, and Derp Derp is gonna go down, gonna take a couple auto attacks and fall. Actually dies to a raise, so always fun. In the meantime, Alchemist just gonna run back into the jungle. He has a couple points in Greevel Greed, could just do this small camp for funsies, but they're hunting him. I don't know if he's seen this rotation based on their movement. He'll see them now. He actually wants to throw an unstable concoction on them, but you can't fight three of them. They're gonna take his stacks. I like this play. Maybe you don't want to stack your own stacks. Actually, so many people rotating in for Root, they are not coming for these stacks. They're just trying to hightail it out of the jungle at this point. Can anybody get the jump on them? Quap might try to go around the side and cut them off. They might take the Dazzle instead. Quap actually going for Brink. Is she going to be in range of the Shadow Strike? She does just manage to get it off, but on the Slaughter, that guy has Sprint. I don't know how much you care about it. Sprint has run out. There it is again. So... everybody gonna get away in a long chase by Root. I think since the Bristleback was bombing...
They might find AA here. They're gonna find the AA here.
Yeah, they'll catch out the AA. I don't think it was worth it for how much space... and Derp Derp going down again. How much space they made for the Bristleback, who is now just farming up a storm in bottom.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably gonna take that tier 1 bottom. And they might, in exchange, take the tier 1 top, but it's... I mean, you're bringing a bunch of heroes up there for that, and they're probably not even going to do that.
Yeah. They're going for the stack
just
again.
hanging out. BLM's just hanging out in the root jungle.
Yeah,
right
I'm pretty
now.
sure they wanted those stacks on their Shadow Fiend, right? I think they're deciding they don't actually have stacks. So, you know, take your opponents. Get your team fat. They have 1 stack. So.
Why would you need to stack when you can just take your opponent's stacks?
Yeah, I think it's actually like a super valid play. In the meantime,
Especially like you get the stack, you deny them the stack. You have to spend less time heading off into jungle.
yeah, your supports can actually be useful. As we talked about, AA, he can be involved in early business with the cold, chilling touch, and Dazzle, of course, keeping your idiots alive strat.
Double
So.
damage.
In the meantime, Dazzle just gonna go off and do Dazzle things. And Bristleback, he looks to be their mech carrier. I have very mixed feelings on this. Bristleback doesn't have the hugest mana pool, so it feels like a mech is a little bit hard for him to sustain.
Among non-int heroes, he has like, it's either like he has a really high int. I don't remember what the ranking is, but it's really high amongst non-int heroes, so it's okay. But it's still not, you know, like, yeah, you might have to go out of your way to keep a mango in inventory, for instance.
Yeah. So a bit worried about that, but either way, looks like we're going on the AA in bottom. They've got the Shadow Strike out. Can the Undying get in range? They do use the Soul Rip. One more auto attack should do it. The Cold Feet, I don't think those are going to latch, but Quals has to be careful here. She does manage to walk out of the range of them. She doesn't have Blink for 4 seconds. At level 1, it's 15-second cooldown. Literally years. I lied, not literally years. So just gonna.
Yeah, but she's fine. I think just the threat of having the.
They dropped the
That's an
tombstone.
aggressive
It's a
tombstone.
max level tombstone, so I think Reaper gonna go down. He might be able to. No, he doesn't have a TP. This is a very dead Dazzle, but you know you got your Bristle out, so that's something.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And yeah, as we can see from our stats, Bristleback doesn't seem. Oh, it's the two. It's that two. The two. I'm an idiot.
Over on the GPM stats, the Shadow Fiend actually has like 470, 480 GPM compared to Alchemist 560, which is, I think it's really impressive considering Alchemist has Greed and how last game went.
Yeah.
That the Shadow Fiend has been doing spectacular compared to last game.
He's actually died twice, but again, compared to last game, doing great work and palming up a storm. They're diving onto this Undying. This is what we talked about, minus armor. He is taking a lot of damage from a Dazzle. All those physical damage from the Shadow Wave. Now he takes the stun. Can Dop get some help? He's one against the wall, but here comes in the Quap and the Sonic Wave. Reaper's probably gonna fall too. No way out, it looks like. SF deciding not to pop that Invis rune, but here comes Bristleback. Can Bristlebong do anything? He needs to turn his back to them, but I think he's just gonna fall. SF trying to see if he should do the Requiem of Souls all over their faces, but not seeing a good outcome. He could maybe pick off Dop, but this Invis halfway used and not a good usage in sight. A definitive fight for Root Gaming.
The Shadow Fiend was super decisive in that fight. I think he spent way too long. Pacing back and forth. He spent. I mean, the whole fight he was just pacing back and forth, I felt like.
Yep, he's gonna use up ult over their faces, but I don't know if that was the right target, but he gets it with the raises. So another kill into his little piggy bank. And yeah, as you said, I think the Shadow Fiend waiting. Oh, actually, he's gonna get Reality Rifted, a stun thrown out, and the Tombstone dropped, but they're realizing quickly the Tombstone isn't something they can easily kill. Soul Rip on the Tombstone as well, but I think with the TP in Heroes, Root Gaming is going to back out. And it's something where I feel like, as you said, the Shadow Fiend could have just Requiem of Souls maybe a bit earlier, really reducing a lot of the damage coming out of Root. So.
I mean, it could be valid. They were basically outnumbered, and they just didn't want the risk of losing the Shadow Fiend as well as, you know, the rest of their lineup there.
Yeah. That means that Queen of Pain gets some free space to push up top tower. Now, this I find a bit interesting. They've actually taken more towers on Root Gaming's lineup. I maybe wasn't expecting that so much. With a Bristleback getting free farm in bottom, kind of expected that to go down.
Once again, though, Zetu having his very early Radiance.
Yeah. And we've talked about this. It adds evasion, which, considering the amount of physical people in this game, of course you can't dodge the Shadow Wave with evasion, but you can make sure that you don't get hit by auto attacks. And yeah, also just gonna stand here and be a pain to the Bristleback. Looks like Slaughter's going down elsewhere though. They've got a Frost Nova coming out. They've also got the Reality Rift. I think he's gonna fall. How long on the Chaos Bolt? The sprint away he might make it. Depends on the Chaos Bolt length. Where is the Slithering Crush? There it is. And now KBH is way out of position, gone too deep. There is Sahiba minus armor on him. He gets a 4-second bolt. Is this enough to get out? It looks like it. Turns out 4-second stun, pretty damn long.
KVH made one critical mistake, which was he Reality Rifted, then canceled that auto attack, the bonus auto attack from Reality Rift. That could have turned it, I think.
In the meantime,
no, it's just because the Sword Art got super low.
Yeah. Alk is foaming up the Ancients, and as we pointed out, SF has 500 GPM, doing really well, all things considered.
Yeah, the Alchemist hasn't been going up in GPM over the course of the last couple after he got his Radiance. He's been staying at a pretty constant, like, 550, 560-ish.
Yeah. He does have 2 deaths, and I think also just when those deaths occurred, really hurting him. A though, on the lineup of Bomb, getting really close to a Midas. I love this. He's gonna be getting, he's gonna be able to get up that Aghanims and also the levels that he needs to be effective in this game.
Is he just gonna wait in base for 10 more gold? Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah. Fine play there. You don't want to lose it on accident. You're one of those squishy heroes on the map, and if your Dazzle isn't around to shallow grave you or can't get it off in time. But yeah, of course, AA very happy to get that Midas, get level 11, even level, yeah, he already has the level 6, so. And we'll see if that can tone things around. I do honestly believe this minus Alma strat, combined with the fact that no one can heal up on Root Gaming, pretty devastating.
Over here in the top lane, I mean the bottom lane, we have the Shadow Fiend almost took down Zatu with his combo, but I think he was slightly off center compared to last time.
So not getting as many. The AA Blast, did it hit? It looks like it did hit, but it's a level 1 AA Blast. I do not believe he will shatter. And now healing up from the Unstable Concoction. This is what we talk about with the AA. Part of the trouble is if you can hit the AA Blast, oh, there's going to be a Tombstone in middle, and an Unstable Concoction coming out, and, oh, that was Chemical Rage before, then that means that they should be able to pick up Bristleback, but they're attacking him from the back. The Sonic Wave goes up, but the immediate heal, Bristleback is still not dead, taking a lot of damage from the Acid Spray, but he's also gotten everybody super low on Root Gaming. They need to heal up. Imagine if the AA Blast were here, and actually it's coming. A lot of people may go down to Razors and AA Blast. One more hit on Froggus. He uses the Soul Rip. Where is the AA Blast? Here it comes, and it's gonna blow up Froggus. He tries to walk out of it. He does, but now he might be in position for Razors. A Weave coming out as well, and things gonna stop.
I think there's just a little bit of poor coordination on the side of Band of Misfits there. It's just, they got a ton of people on route super low, but in the end, they didn't get anyone killed, which is, that's the only thing that pays off, you know? You can get everyone to half, but if nobody dies, then...
Slaughter's going in hand. There was the blink forwards by the Shadow Fiend, trying to make sure he gets someone, but Dup just using that freezing field in the group, in the trees, and now we've got a stun out on Slaughter. He's going to go down to the Quap eventually, but she needs to get the hell out of dodge. Shuan actually going to be blinked up on, and she doesn't manage to blink away in time. Alk now coming in with the help of his trusty sidekick, Chaos Knight, but without any backup, they're just going to stun and probably back right out. Double stuns flying, actually need to dodge, they're fine on the AA Blast, and they're probably going to lose this tier 1. Yeah, Shadow Fiend gets it. A nice fight now, after the kind of whiffed earlier fight, a really nice fight coming out of Bomb.
Yeah, they claim a tower for their troubles, and they get a whole bunch of kills, just playing really aggressively with the armor bonus. I think it's a little bit unfortunate that they haven't been able to synchronize the AA Blast with the team fights as well as they could, because he used one to try to get the Alk, and that just, you know, put them out of sync with the team fights, but it was still pretty well played.
Yeah. So, all in all, we're going to be seeing this net worth graph headed back down to 0. Bomb getting back from a 4,000 lead en route, and also the experience now in favor of Bomb. This means we might have some new item pickups. Looks like Bristleback might be going to Sanj and Yasha, or maybe a straight BKB. I think Sanj and Yasha is a bit nicer here, but there's certainly a world of things to block. AA, yeah, has a really early Midas, as we're pointing out. Dazzle has a Glimmer Cape. SF, Blink Dagger Yules, this is a really older build, and it looks like he's building a BKB. I'm not so sure on this. It's kind of the I gank one person, right?
Is under attack.
Yeah, but at the same time, I guess it's worse just because Root does have a
Oh,
very
we have an
multi-core
engagement in
lineup.
bottom. The AA blast, it's going to hit at least one, but the Sonic Wave immediately taking out the Slaughter. They could kill AA off here too. Doped Up wants to go in, but he's going to get cold speeded up. I think, no, he manages to just walk out of it, taking so much damage, but they don't have a way to stop the freezing field, and he's just going to kill them off. Dazzle trying to hurt him with so much minus armor. Doped Up had, like, no armor there, but he's going to go down to the Bristlebong, and not going to be a good trade for Root Gaming. The CM for 3, you'll take it. And, yeah.
Yeah, that was really questionable. I mean, I think the Dazzle misclicked, so he graved himself at full health instead of the Slardar. And then once your Slardar went down, the 2 supports should probably have backed up there instead of trying to engage in the CM and the Quap.
Yeah. In the meantime,
especially since Dazzle is such a buddy-focused support rather than
I don't know if you just saw that. Guess who just got force-fed and Aghanims?
Who?
Undying. You could have just looked like you could go, yeah. 10. Okay, so here's the thing though. I don't know if we have a stat on Undyings being force-fed Aghanims, but Undyings who go Aghanims actually have a really low win rate.
Really?
Yep.
Over the games played so far? How many games have been played?
About 7 Llamas. We'll probably pull it up next. If he's still alive, I don't actually know if he's died somewhere. He may have been tired and gone to bed. Who knows? But our stats man might be able to pull that up if he is so inclined. In the meantime, Chaos Knight is Sanjin Yasha-ing away, not going that omelet that we've seen a few times. And Alk, I feel like giving one to the Quap as well. She's already got this silence. I think if she could go more utility items like a Forced Sheep, that'll really help against the Bristleback and the Slaughter. The SF, you know. We have a great forward though. Yeah, I think he's gonna be in a bit of trouble. He actually, I didn't know you could double that off. Shadow Fiend though picks up the Queen of Pain immediately. A nice crit there, but he's gonna fall to the Shadow Fiend, and that is the BKB being shown. I don't know if they have follow-up though. They can't kill the Tombstone somehow, and Shadow Fiend's gonna bloody go down. Doped Up, Freezing Field, killing off all of them. Only the Bristleback's gonna survive. What the shit just happened? That team fight seemed to be so in favor of BOM, and suddenly everything going horribly wrong. Queen of Pain also bought back. I think she bought back and managed to... No, she didn't even use her Sonic Wave there.
Yeah, that team fight, like, they instantly blew up the CK. They instantly blew up the Quap. It looked like it was going so well for them, but they got the Tombstone dropped, and they got just disrupted out of position. They were pretty far away from each other, and then it just went downhill from there, I think.
Yeah. So again, a really important and fantastic freezing field. Ooh. Yeah, it only has a 50% win rate. That's not what I would expect of Ags on Undying.
But at the same time, I guess like getting it this early has to make a difference, right? Because like right now, the tankiest hero on BOM is probably, you know, the Bristleback, and he only has 46 strength. If you get 1 decay on him, that's over 20% of his HP just gone, chunked out from the strength loss alone.
Yeah. I didn't think about that, and as you said, that's like... It's very silly. I'm having a bit of a sensible chuckle about it. In the meantime...
And it's, you know, it's 4-second cooldown, and it has a damage component as well. We have a smoke coming out. It looks like they're just going to take the Roche.
Very easy with these heroes. They don't actually have the Shadow Fiend with them, but of course they've got more than enough highness armor between these 4. And yeah, this Rochelle, look at him go. He is not really a raid boss, not looking like it. So, I'm just loving this Undying. I wonder if Alk is making another one. No, it looks like he is now going for the AC, I'm assuming, to make sure his whole team is a lot better. With regards to armor, I really hope he does give Quap an Ags. I think giving her 1 for free, as we said, just means you can go more utility. Quap can pick up that Shiva's earlier, can pick up maybe a Yule's. I don't think she needs a Yule's this game, though. Does Yule's purge off anything here? Because it doesn't purge off Weave. It doesn't purge off the bloody amp damage. So...
Viscous Nasal Goo, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's really important. You don't disgusting snot on your
I mean, if I were...
body.
Okay, real talk. If I were wearing what Quap was wearing, I would not want Bristleback anywhere near me. So there's just some hygiene issues there. But either way,
would you wear that into, you know, combat though?
I don't know. If it's one of those things where it like buffs up my damage, like if that gear gives you plus 100, like, agility or something, yeah, I totally would. It all depends on the stats, man.
It might just give you evasion against males, you know?
I actually, there's some interesting thoughts on that, but we will discuss that at another time. There has been some in-depth discussions on the value of armor like that, but either, going back into the game, maybe makings of a BKB on Chaos Knight, it could be... Okay, so I think it's a BKB. Before I have seen, though, a Sandanosha and a Heaven's Halberd, so...
I could see either. They're both, very valid pickups, especially with the, I don't think the the Shadow Fiend already has a BKB, but the Bristle and the Sardar, okay, the Bristle actually has a BKB.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We've got a lot of BKBs, so probably Heaven's Halberd not the best. And also, just the Razor's still a problem. Bristleback does get a lot out of these quill sprays and viscous nasal goo and taking it from behind. Anyway, we've got CM picking up a smoke, and actually, we haven't been seeing too much smoke action. There are 2 smokes in stock and 1 smoke in stock for the Radiant, so both sides having a lot of smokes that they could be playing. Alk getting he almost has the AC. This will help their team a lot of sustain, and also it helps you push towers faster, so I think a nice pickup there. What else do you go on Undying? It looks like he's going to build up the Guardian Groups. I would love to see him finish the Solar Crest. There isn't anything which goes through Mischance right now, I believe. Nobody building an MKB, and if you force the Bristleback or the SF to build an MKB, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's most likely the SF.
We have a nice unstable concoction coming out, and they've got the spit on the ground. But now, Shadowfiend, he's gonna be able to get out that Requiem of Souls. There is Dop channeling his ulti, but I don't know if it's enough this time. Froggus does manage to pick up the SF, but Dop going down on the backlines, and Froggus is going to too. Xuan, I don't think you can do anything here. Undying finally goes down after all those steals. Chaos Knight taking the Aegis off. And they should maybe work together to get this lost pick off. They can make it maybe a 3 for 4, but I don't know. This is a scary guy to take down. He's just gonna bloody TP out. He knows they don't have anything. Do they have the crits? Holy cow! This Chaos Knight, he has the RNG he prayed. Also, we have to talk about how now you get them, it's not called Meld Strike. What is it just called? They don't have a name for it.
You just get the... It's just a minus armor buff, debuff, I don't know.
Yeah, in the recent patch, what I'm talking about, folks... Oh, and I missed the fight recap because I'm a scrub. In the recent patch, Chaos Knight gets a minus armor debuff if he does crit with that Chaos Strike. So you can see there that Bristleback had a really hard time because suddenly no armor, and that's why he took a hit, and then suddenly the next hit he took was just like, boom, Bristleback, not much health. So...
Yeah, the Chaos Strike is really good, especially since it gets applied from illusions as well. So, like, every single time you, like, Reality Rift a ton of illusions, you're basically almost guaranteed one of those hits is, gonna be a Chaos Strike. And if you do get a Chaos Strike, then...
Are you sure it applies to illusion? Oh my goodness, that's actually crazy. Notes. Yeah, and you can see it when you ult. Oh goodness, someone's going down. Chaos Knight, he's having some... he's very dead here. Maybe even the Yules will kill him? No, the Yules doesn't quite kill him, but he goes down. A nice pick-off for this lineup of Band of Mischiefs. They were a little bit behind. This game very close, much better than the other game in this set. So...
Yeah, I think a lot of these fights are really... I think some of the fights lately have been really Band of Misfits initiates, and they initiate really well. But then Root just comes back through around the fight, which it's really exciting to watch.
Yeah. And it's clearly going to be a BKB now on the Chaos Knight, something I had just kind of woofed over my head. It doesn't block the Frostbite from the Ice Blast. I think it's called Frostbite. Actually, we might be having an engagement here. There is the blink.
It won't remove it if you already have it, is how it works. But if you get it, then you can't get rid of it.
It doesn't remove it, actually. No.
Yeah, no. It'll stop you from getting it.
Yeah,
but
you
if
stop
you
ticking down to damage to the AA ult, but you don't. You can't remove
Shatter.
it. Yeah.
The Shatter you'll keep.
Yeah, cause Shatter. So.
The Shadow Fiend gets his Scotty, which helps him tank up a whole lot against this lineup. Between his BKB and his Scotty, it's going to be a lot harder to kill the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. If you force him to go, he's already got a couple items on his build that he probably has to switch out. Forcing him to go on MKB takes out one of those slots that might be a Butterfly or a Crit Stick or a Satanic. So, especially with Lifesteal no longer stacking with anything, right? I believe was the change. a while back.
I think lifesteal now stacks with everything.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. The other way. Now you can put lifesteal on everything. Sorry. It used to be not so. Anyway.
Now if you like it, you should just put a lifesteal on it.
100%. You know the Wraith King build that we have idiot friends who go with 3 lifesteal. But let's not talk about that. Let's get back into this game. Solar Crest up on Dazzle. I also really like this pickup. It's the same deal for the lineup of Root. None of them really want to build an MKB. So...
yeah, it's really unfortunate on CK just because your illusions don't get raw damage. Alchemist has bigger fish to fry, and Quap isn't really a right clicker. She went for the BKB instead. Yeah,
she is now. I think it's the BKB. I think she's still hoping Alk will feed her an Aghanim someday. I'm not quite sure. He's getting a good amount of farm. He could take, he'll take an ancient stack, he'll farm the jungle once more, and then probably be ready to stuff another Ags into somebody. Probably the Quap. I doubt they're gonna go with it on the CM.
I mean, but at the same time, even with Grievel's Greed, he's on par with GPM with a Shadow Fiend right now.
I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that this game they have a lot more farmers. A lot of the jungle is going to Chaos Knight repeatedly and the Queen of Pain. So I just don't think there are creeps for him to kill. And we can see he can just bloody stand in this acid. Look at this. They're actually going to reality rift him in, but of course the shallow grave means there'll be no death. There is the ult, the BKBs coming out. The Sonic Wave comes out as well. A nice blink in from Quap, but the Requiem of Souls comes out over everyone's faces. Zombies everywhere, and Quap goes down. She has no buyback for this fight. I don't even know if it would help. Up in the air is the Shadow Fiend going to purchase some of those slows, but there's still a million zombies. He finally goes down. I think that they're getting this Dazzle as well. Are they also getting Mr. Bristleback? No. I don't know if they can catch him. He has a lot of zombies on him, but they should be expiring. They get the reality rift. Do they? Oh, they don't even need the Chaos Strike. So again, a nice team fight for the lineup of, well, an even. No, definitely good for Root Gaming. Sorry, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, because they're gonna get a tower out of this as well.
Also,
so,
2 cores for 1 core.
They might even be able to deal some damage to tier 3. They probably will, actually, with this momentum. I think the
There's
major
also
flaw
no
is...
buyback on these cores for Band of Mischiefs.
I think the major flaw in that fight, geez, that's so much HP loss from the decay. But the major flaw was that, I mean, the Shadow Fiend got caught out, and you sort of expected that he dropped all
they're
your
going
buffs
in on
him.
Reaper. They can't see him, and actually out getting pretty low. He's gonna finally start regenerating back up. He throws the Unstable Concoction gets stuns both of them, and it helps them get the Dazzle, who can't escape. And they're gonna get a Rax off of this. Again, no buybacks being on the lineup of Band of Mischief. It might just be over.
Yeah, that's a pretty devastating loss there.
Now, I said it might just be over, but I'm actually super wrong there. A little bit ahead of myself. They have tier 2s in all their other lanes. This push isn't going to be sustained, and Shadow Fiend Bristleback can handle 1 lane of Rax down.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's still not something you want to be fighting.
So. And just for the folks, I see some new folks in chat. This is the second match in the best of 3 between Root Gaming and Team Band of Mischiefs. Whoever wins this advances into the... whoever wins this best of 3 series advances into the major qualifiers for Americas. There is another match going on the other side of the bracket, and whoever wins that also advances. I don't know the state of that yet. After this game, depending on how things go, we might poke our heads into it, so... might not be able to, though, with the Dota TV issues. So looking at the item pickups, the other thing we can't neglect to mention about a Rax going down is it's a huge gold swing, and that's what you can see right there. It's something where Rax are very valuable, and this means new item pickups for all of the Dire. A hot finished on Alchemist, finally turning that casual vitality booster into something. And the AA does have the Ags finally, but feeling a little bit too late.
Yeah, it's like if you're sad about being frostbitten and you can't heal up, then you just start with a bunch more health, and what are you going to do against that?
Yeah. In the meantime, this tier 2, they actually are acting a bit like they want to siege it on Band of Mischiefs, and this is really disadvantageous for them because of the high ground, and they're just going to back all the way back to their tower, realizing that they don't need to fight there. In the meantime, the Glimmer Cape on Shadow Fiend, I think just worried about him getting stunned, so...
Tier 2s are always awkward to defend just because of the positioning of the ground.
Yeah, except for mid, but again, mid has that awkward choke point where it's a bit worse for the Radiant coming in. So. And yeah, we're going to see Root Gaming back out. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for the other tier 2 before doing anything else. They have quite a bit of time on... Oh, okay, Chaos Knight. That KBH. That was an interesting play. So... And, yeah. And just so folks know, Root Gaming had beaten out a lot of good teams. They'd beaten out the Eosin stack. They beat out Yukon. There's a Reality Rift on mid. And just gonna be BKBs and nothing else. And on the other side of the bracket, the lineup of Band of Mischiefs, this Radiant team, had also beaten out a number of good teams that were quite popular. So I think both of these teams very deserving to be here, no matter how one-sided the games may look. There's a nice BKB. There's gonna be a Requiem of Souls. No, he's not using it. They're just gonna auto-attack down the Chaos Knight. That's one life down. Quap needs to get out of here with her BKB, but this might just be the end of the Chaos Knight. Where is the backup? He BKBs, tries to get away. He's turning and fighting. Can he get... Oh, he gets a Chaos Strike off, and there's gonna be a Sonic Wave, which doesn't do anything after all the heals, but that strike was beautiful. Requiem of Souls completely off the mark. There's an unstable concoction and a pull-in. A-Blast gonna fire, but I don't know if anybody's gonna care. They actually are. KVH going down. There's going to be a forced off more into the tower, so I think they're losing Mr. Alk as well. There was a buyback at the same time, and on the back lines, weird shit is happening. A lot of people really low. Gonna fall. Tombstone doing work. How many decay stacks is that? Just one, actually. Maybe he'll drop another one now. And oh my gosh, killing him off with the decay stack. This Undying doing good things. And yeah. I thought, again, it was another one of those team fights. Oh, are they still going? They're still bloody going! SF doing a lot of damage to Undying. He's frozen up by the cold feet, but he's taking literally no damage with the evasion! Holy shit, he didn't hit any of those attacks, and he's gonna kill them all with the Undying stacks! Did you see how many hits were missed?
I want you to realize that during that fight, this support Undying hit 4k HP.
I did not see that. I was actually trying to keep an eye on it, but I was freaking out.
He got enough decay stacks that his max HP went to like 4k, so like, you know,
yeah, maybe he was taking damage, right?
He was taking very little because they were evading. He was evading most of the hits.
So, but he may have also been taking some damage, and I'm just like, I don't know. Anyway, this I don't know if these two can take the tower, especially with the wind. Guardian Greaves comes out, Reaper is just Glimmer caped up. They're gonna get a good amount of damage into it. Queen of Pain does actually hit like a truck, and she's gonna back out there. So they got the tower a little bit above half health, but still, the Undying Ags that we were worried about when it doesn't have a super high win rate, we need to, what's it? Measure our words? Oh, well,
what if
okay,
the Shadow Fiend's gonna like rage by an MKB or something? If I were the Shadow Fiend, I'd
not even rage by. I think it's totally appropriate. They would have won that team fight so easily there, and just lack of an MKB. So, either way, we see Queen of Pain. She's still hoping somebody feeds her Aghanims. You can see from her item build, she's like Thitu. When, or Thitu, ooh, that ooh, Thitu. When am I getting that Ags put in me? And he's like, babe, when I get to it, it's if you could please calm down. So I will give you an Ags when I feel good and ready. So, yeah.
Doesn't sound weird at all.
Not at all. I mean, I think that's how Alchemist would... Actually, that's probably how the Alchemist, the actual tiny Alchemist... What's the guy he's riding called?
I think that's the Alchemist, and the Ogre's just his, like, you know, mouse.
I assumed the Ogre was the Alchemist because he's the one who seems to mix the concoctions.
No, when he like mixes unstable concoction, like the little guy at the top starts shaking little beakers, and the
I think the lottery still has worse odds than that, but I would love for you to find out for me.
But the little guy at the top throws the little bottles, and the ogre just, you know, punches. You feed the
so the little guy in the top
ogre.
Is the Alchemist. And I think that's how he would speak. I mean, considering he has pretty much enslaved another character in the game. They could have a symbiotic relationship that we don't know about. So, folks, let's not rush to judgment and assume the worst case scenario. Also,
I mean, since he's like an alchemist, maybe they're biologically attached.
Yeah, it could actually be that the ogre is his bottom half. So, looking at item pickups, as we've mentioned...
That's the Ags.
Yeah. And Queen of Pain finally being fed her Aghanims. Very, very tasty there. Also, the stat gain. We can't neglect this. A lot of people just focus on the Ags upgrade. You also get all the stats associated with it. So she hits harder and is more tanky now. And a little bit of armor, but that's not the most important part of it. We've got some new item pickups just because of that team fight, and the game has progressed. Looks like Chaos
Root has smoked up, and they're Jumping?
They're going in ham. I don't think they'll catch anyone here. Xuan maybe giving it away, but she does use that Shiva's God and it catches too. There's gonna be the reality rift, but they can't take down that BKB target. But again, another use of his BKB. We are down to 6 seconds on that BKB, and against this Root Gaming lineup, you want those BKBs for as long as you can.
Yeah, the CK is about 200 gold from his Heart of Trask, and so he's going to be living through a fight, throwing out a ton of Chaos Bolts just everywhere. He pops his ult already just to hit the tower.
And in the meantime, they're going to just, use... This tower's going down so fast, out-popping that chemical raid. Where's the AA blast? Shiva's going in on the Queen of Pain. She uses the Sonic Wave again. She doesn't care that she might go down here. She needs to blink away. Doesn't manage to get it, but here comes the raid boss of Undying. Decay stacks abound. He's only up to 2k health, but in the meantime, Chaos Knight, he is hitting everybody, getting that Chaos Knight proc off. Freezing Field going off. The Rax is gone in the meantime, and there is an explosion of Shadow Fiend all over Dope Dope's face, but he doesn't care. He's done his job. Shadow Fiend, will this be a dieback? Will he manage to kill the... Froggus actually taking damage this time. Shadow Fiend, he does have the MKB. Froggus is probably going to go down. Not missing anymore. So they get a Rax, they lose a couple heroes, but at the same time, I think a worthwhile trade, and they forced a couple of buybacks. Looking at the fight recap, actually a little bit in favor of Band of Mischiefs. So.
Yeah, I think the gold change... I mean, the fight gold change favored them because they were behind Roots. But, I mean, you lost the Rax, and that's still pretty crippling.
Yeah. A boss just gonna make sure their waves keep being pushed up. Now, 2 lanes of Rax. Odds of coming back to this getting very slim. It's...
Especially with the CK finishing his heart. He's a comfortable 3.3k HP.
And he's not even finished yet.
The Alk is at 2.7k. We all know the Undying can hit, like, 5k if he gets lucky.
Yeah.
And then, like, once you hit, these absurd HP numbers, you just run in. Yep. They don't have anything that, like, any of the cheap tricks to instantly kill CK illusions. So you have to chew your way through, like, 4 or 5 times the 3.3k HP on CK if you wanted to stop, punching your supports for massive damage.
Yep. In the meantime, Shadow Fiend, just gonna try to follow him up, finally not getting that gold penalty. Slaughter has picked up, he had the 4-star for ages. Slaughter really hasn't made item progression. He's actually the poorest person in this game. I wasn't expecting that. Both the Dazzle and AA having a better time. Dazzle almost has his Ags though. That's gonna be really helpful here on hitting people down. And they take the Roshan quickly. They put it on the Queen of Pain. She's been doing a lot of initiation here, so I understand that. Cheese on the Chaos Knight. Can you pop cheese when you're AA blasted?
If you want to ask if you can, you can. If you want to ask if he'll do anything, that's a no. Actually, here's a fun fact. One of the only abilities in the game that could regenerate HP through the AA blast is Decay, which is weird because you won't regenerate HP from things like toggling treads, or from gaining strength and leveling up, or from gaining strength from leveling attributes. Or, from picking up, like, literally everything else. It's, like, Decay, Sunder, and Time-Lapse, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Which is, it's a little bit weird.
Alk is making CM and Ags!
That's something you don't see every day.
I mean, it has to be, right, unless, does Chaos Knight have an Ags I've forgotten about? Did he get one, like, in the last patch? Or...
CK doesn't have...
Okay, right.
No.
Not in the... Okay, good. I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but the moment you say it, it's like, oh shit, I'm wrong. Although, as you all know, the fastest way to find out the answer to something is to say it wrong on the internet, so I'm sure chat will tell me if I were wrong. So, in the meantime, they have a smoke coming out of the lineup. Oh, they're gonna run right into them. CM does force off away, but they have caught out Mr. Alchemist. Can he pop that Chemical Rage? He does manage to, but in the backlines, they're having that Sonic Wave. Alk, I think, is just gonna go down here. He's not gonna be very happy about that. In the meantime, CM, she does manage to get away. Another nice stun up onto Froggus, but in the backlines, they are losing the Dazzle. And so, a very good team fight for Band of Mischiefs. Quap is actually going back in. No time to look at that. Quap taking a lot of damage. He does, of course, have that Aegis. Here come the Undying Decay stacks. He has a lot of them. He has up to 3k health. He's killing off everyone. The Freezing Field doing mad work. And they're all dead. And they called GG. I really wasn't expecting that. And wow. So
they lost. I think they just lost way too much HP to the Decay there.
Also, they didn't have buybacks on the SF. So.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I just wanted to say Root Gaming does advance through. Thank you again for joining me. I'm Extra Board. I am Llama. Sorry, his name is I'm Extra Board. I'm Llama Down Under. I am a new caster. I would love your feedback on how to get better. And that was pretty exciting that Root makes it through to the major qualifiers. They are a team I like a lot, and I'm actually going to go ask Dup if he would mind coming and saying a little bit about how the game went, but if not, we'll head over to one of the other games maybe and take a look. So I'm just going to go to the splash screen and music for a few seconds and see how things are going with the winners of Root Gaming. Thank you both for joining me. We had about 7 llamas on stats as well before I forget. Do you two want to say anything?
There's an update for Dota.
Oh, excellent.
There was some